Now, the Lagos State government says it will not bow to pressure over its decision to demolish some buildings in the state. Well, some 600 houses have been demolished in the FESTAC area. Other structures have been taken down in Ikota, Lekki, Alaba, Ajao Estate and Abule-Ado, prompting condemnation and disapproval. But the Lagos State government has said it reserves the right to demolish the structures as they were illegal. It says a 7-day contravention notice was issued to the owners of the buildings following several other notices served on the owners.
We're joined now by Akintola Olagbemiro, who is the Zonal Manager, Southwest of the Federal Housing Authority. Thank you for coming to Newsnight.
Thank you so much.
Now, are you aware or are you bothered that this incident has been generating some ethnic colorations?
Well, I am bothered because of what people are saying. And whatever it is that FHA is doing has got nothing to do with ethnicity. What we deal with is buildings. Even the purpose of FHA is to provide houses for everybody, every Nigerian, no matter the level. So talking about this aspect of, sectionalization or whatever it is, you understand, bothers us in the sense that this is not the true picture of things.
What exactly is the true picture of things? Because we're hearing that the FHA, the Federal Housing Authority, has plans to pull down 677 buildings or structures, if you like. So far,
600 gone now.
600 gone already. What exactly is the basis of these demolitions? You want to help us understand why there's a need for these buildings to go down?
Okay. First, maybe I'll go into some of those reasons then before we go into some other little details.
Absolutely.
I would like you to actually take a look at this. These are the situations that you can see, This upper part, these are all areas that are leading to the canal. While this
If our cameraman can capture that very quickly. And
while this lower side is actually blocking the canal completely. So when you look at this, you understand, these are just some of the reasons. And then a lot of people are building on major roads that were already being told not to. We were warned.
Were they told not to verbally, or were they told officially, documentation?
There are documentations to that aspect, ma.
Right.
Yes, there are documentations to that aspect. And
okay.
Right.
Yes.
That's fine. Okay, so this shows flooding going on, it just speaks for itself. Right, poor drainage system leading to flooding within the estate.
Another set of buildings that were not taken into consideration because all of them, there's no building approval. Right. Nobody supervised those buildings. And these are areas where FESTAC also grew up from. And when you look at the level of foundation and even the level of the roads, these are things that are necessary to be put in place in these areas.
But the question Nigerians are asking, Tolu, is how on earth is it possible that the structures would be built, from the foundation, from clearing to the foundation, to getting to lintel level, getting to, I'm sounding like a builder now, getting to the very top, to the point where people move in and begin to live in those structures?
Yeah, first things first, FHA has a land which was acquired by the federal government, which is about 2,024.6 hectares. First phase of FESTAC was built in about 530. The other phase is supposed to be built in the same manner by way of concession and building roads and all the necessary infrastructure. Then the issue of all these families going to court injunctions and all that. We've had that severally over the years. Over the years, which forestalled a lot of things. FHA followed the court rules, making sure that, let us stay off as we were asked to. But these families did not. They were actually selling land together with all the other estate developers there, more or less like land grabbing and selling to innocent and unsuspecting people.
Okay,
Yes.
Another question that people are asking, and which has been fueling in any case, the ethnic coloration and all other ramifications that have been introduced to this matter is, why now? Because they're saying it's because after the elections, a particular ethnic group didn't vote for the governor. That's why they're beginning to do this. So why at this point?
Well, just again, this has been going on for many years, where FHA has moved into some of those buildings, some of those sites, trying to stop people from doing what they need to do. What they have been doing. How far back? Sometimes, in fact, as far back as 2017, 18, and even at 2018, we started discussing with the Lagos state government. And in 2019, with one surveyor, I can't really remember his name right now, of Lagos state government, we went in there to even mark some of those houses for demolition as far back as then. Somehow, all these court injunctions just kept on coming in. But in 2021, when the management, right now under the leadership of Senator Gwenga Ashofa of Federal Housing Authority, came in and they saw that the level of encroachments was quite a lot. And what is happening, that is as if we have gone to sleep. Let's be realistic. But nonetheless, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't do what is right. Now, when you look at, at that time, we got all our approvals, of course, from the authority and all our management and the board. And we moved into site and we started demolition. And we said, look, the number of encroachment here is quite enormous. And the reason being that even when our people used to go as far back as those times that I was talking about, honestly, a lot of them were beaten, taken to hospital, and all that by the thugs that were being, that were being used to attack our staff. And when you look at some of these things, even when we go with some of the security forces, you understand, somehow they had to repel. So that no lives will be lost. Let's be realistic, you understand?
Number one, the property owners, especially the one we had here yesterday, actually claimed that there was no notification whatsoever, that their structures were going to be pulled down, that they were given only hours, as a matter of fact, before FHA swooped in with as the demolition man. Help us understand that aspect. And when you demolish these structures, is there any plan for future developers to still build on the same, sites that are being demolished?
First, let me go to the part where you have said that the person claimed they were not given
enough
notices.
Yeah.
In 2021, when we did the first demolition, we were asked to stop so that we could actually look at the situation of things and use what we have on ground, especially with our town planners and, of course, our surveyors, to be able to save as much as we can from this development. Because how do we go ahead and demolish over maybe 12 to 15,000 houses? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Everybody is going to be against FHA because that's what we're supposed to be doing. So what we try to do is, and what the management actually introduced, what we call the VRR, which is verification, ratification, and regularization at the end of the day, of course, after whatever fees that they're supposed to make. But nonetheless, these people went in and still continue to build, even after telling them that they should please stop. So in 2022, in April, we flew a drone over the whole of FESTAC. The whole of FESTAC. We took permission from the 9th Brigade, you understand, to be able to do that because it's illegal for us to do it without their consent anyways. So we took that so that we could have a clear picture of what is going on. Honestly, I'll show you so that you can also take a look at it. This is what we found. Okay. I don't know if you can see
what
that.
Can we read?
Please.
Right.
Yes.
Cluster.
Okay.
All encroachment. Encroachment illegal.
Okay, you know what I wanted to do for us now, yeah?
So if the cameraman could
there's a green area and there are clusters, very
it's not that this green, it's that these are trees covering houses.
Oh, right, great.
These are trees covering houses.
Yeah.
Yes, these are trees covering houses.
Okay,
yes.
gentlemen, you know, please, you know what I need you to do for us now, yeah?
Yes.
Keep these documents.
Okay.
Keep them. Yeah,
Thank you.
keep them very well. You know,
Yes.
let's forget how the demolition happened.
Yes.
Let's talk about Naira and Kobo.
Okay.
What plans do you have now,
Yes.
right, to compensate these people? Let's talk about that.
Will there be any compensation?
I'm sorry, when you talk about compensation, it means we gave them approval to even do so.
No, we're not saying
To
that.
build.
No.
I'm
Let's put
coming,
some
sir,
human
because
face to this.
we
Yeah?
didn't give anybody a single approval. Even before we started in 2021, you understand, we asked them, could you please give us an approval, even if it is from any government arm or whatever. And who are the people supervising you? How did you get here? Nobody could give us any supervision. I mean, any of those approvals. So when you look at that, honestly, it becomes very, very, very difficult for me to say that we're going to compensate people that we don't even know.
So
but what we're
saying
doing
is
now, we're trying to
no
do that
plan.
VRR. No, what we're doing is doing the VRR for those that are not on major roads, canal ways, you understand? And they are not even close to NNPC pipeline. I'm sure you're aware of what happened in 2020, where they said there was a kind of bomb blast. That was not a bomb blast, it was actually on the pipeline.
Right.
That was in there. And many people lost their lives, and a lot of structures too were demolished by that bomb blast, or rather by that blast. So these are things that we're trying to avoid. People have built on even high tension ways. People have built, you understand, almost everywhere. And then you go there are houses that, big houses, the roads are not even up to 5 meters. We cannot even take two cars at the same time. Right. So these are all the reasons why we say let us not turn that place into a slum.
So far, just to be sure, I mean, let's hear from the horse's mouth, have gone down, and how many more do you plan to demolish?
Right now, there are some that are still going on, but at least for now, I think we have done maybe close to about maybe 300.
Do you want to reassure Nigerians, especially Nigerians from a particular section, who feel that this really is all about victimization? How do you reassure them that this is not what this is about?
No, this is not victimization of anything or anybody, because they were all warned. They were all given notices. Especially as from that 2021, it was steady notices, very steady notice. And the last one we gave was on the 4th of September, 2023. And we even wrote 7 days before we now carried out our action just about 3 weeks ago.
Architect Akintola Olagbemiro, Zonal Manager, Southwest Federal Housing Authority. We do hope that at the end of the day, the FHA will indeed be providing housing for Nigerians and not demolishing them, in spite of the fact that we do appreciate your concerns, you know, about the environmental impact of these structures going up. Thank you so much for joining us.